Welcome back everyone. Now recently Nigel Farage said that Reform cannot win the next general election if they alienate the Muslim vote. Now I disagree with that, but we're all entitled to our own opinions of course. So I believe that Islam must learn its place here in the UK. It must learn how to behave in a tolerant Western society, and if it can't do that, then that's their problem. Tough. We've learned a long time ago that pandering doesn't encourage integration. It just emboldens. Every inch given has led to a mile being taken. So if Nigel wants to pander to the Muslim vote, whatever that is these days, when did sectarian voting become so important in the UK anyway? Then what on earth makes him think that he can win the next general election by alienating our own Unite the Kingdom movement and the huge patriotic vote that it unquestionably brings? That's a rather nonsensical outlook. And if you don't mind me saying, it's also a bit of an insult too. Is he saying that their resolve is stronger than ours? Because Nigel, let me tell you, it isn't. And on the subject of our Muslim friends, it's very important that people understand that we are not, absolutely not, against peace-loving Muslims or indeed moderate Islam or anyone else for that matter, but we do stand against terrorism, all forms of radical extremism from any group and any religion, and any attempt to hijack and dominate our Christian-based culture and our country. And we will peacefully resist all and any attempts to take this away from us, and that includes resisting dodgy backdoor blasphemy laws, clearly designed and aimed at closing us all down for the sake of one particular group. Look, in the UK, criticism has always been legal, and it must remain so. And I'm a little concerned that Nigel will not engage with us because he fears the popularity of our movement's leader. Some men admire the bravery of others. Some see it as a threat, and I think Nigel sees us as a threat for a couple of reasons that are both wrong. The old adage that any association with that lot will lead to a hysterical mainstream media backlash. Well, I say bring that on. Let's go to war with the corrupt mainstream media. Let's take on the hard left at the BBC, Channel 4 and Sky News. Who needs them anyway? They're all finished. Hardly anyone watches them anymore. The mainstream media are on life support. Why don't we switch it off instead of keep pandering to it and keep breathing life into them? Donald Trump has shown the way. Bravery, Nigel, bravery. And one man stands tall among us all, and it's time that you and a lot of other people started to acknowledge it. Because Tommy owes us absolutely nothing, but millions of ordinary people, parents and children right across the United Kingdom owe him a great deal. This is the man who, despite being under immense pressure, the threat of jail, currently in jail, bankruptcy, bullying, unwarranted arrests and defamation, violent assault, the threat of assassination, and being unfairly labelled as the country's bogeyman, he alone has stood tall on behalf of us and our children, and we will never forget that. Name me one single serving MP who has shown just an ounce of his courage, bravery, integrity and determination. Name me just one. This week, yet again, Tommy has risen above all the bullshit and has shown his class and maturity by refusing to turn his back, yet at least, in the hope that Nigel and Reform can unite us all. The message was, don't turn our backs on them just yet. It was not a message to support Nigel and Reform. It was a message that reached out to them. Some people have failed to spot the difference. And there we have it. Once again, the people, the masses, the movement and its leader has held out its hand of friendship to the party that has the potential to take our nation by storm at the next general election and to rid this country of the hard left influence that's ruined it. And I see my job as trying to act as a kind of go-between, somewhere in the middle of both camps, trying to bridge the gap between everyone and to build bridges. And on that note, I'd like to thank Ben Habib for his kind words about me and the movement this morning, showing that the gap in class and education can be bridged with the right people and the will to do it. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I don't think Reform can win the next general election with votes from fed up Tories. They need an army of people, and we have one. It's interesting times. Let me know what you think.